Sled Addicts is brought to you by Team Vincent Motorsports, Bergstrom Carbides, Ledger Performance, Westway Motel, Studboy Studs, and Radio World.
What's going on, guys? Jesse here from Sled Addicts. We are in beautiful Cochrane, Ontario, and on today's video we're going to be talking about my 2026 MXZ X-RS 850 Turbo R competition package. So this sled, very similar to last year, actually identical, just new colors and new graphic package with the mineral blue, which is gorgeous, especially on the snow. On top of that, I've added a couple accessories to it that are a little different this year. So we got a new Garmin tread unit, which I'll be talking about a little bit later and in its own video, with actual controls on the handlebars. On top of that, I have some new link accessories on the back. And we've got this sled set up very similar to last year. I've got the roller ski wheels up on the front. We have Bergstrom triple point 6-inch carbides. I'm fully studded up on the Ripsaw 2-ply 1.25 track with Studboy Super Light Pro Series backers with the PowerPoint Plus 1.5 studs. So this sled's fully outfitted and ready to roll. And in today's video, we're just going to give you a little bit of impressions. I have about 900 kilometers on this sled so far that I've put on the past few weeks volunteering for the Polar Bear Riders up here in Cochrane, and I've been absolutely loving it. This sled is completely dialed, handles so good, and I can't wait to tell you about it. So let's hit the trail. As promised, we're now going for a rip on the MXZ comp package. So as I mentioned, this sled has just over 900 kilometers on it, so it's well out of break-in. It's been a blast. It runs absolutely mint, same like my sled last year. They don't really skip a beat. The one thing I've noticed with all these 850 turbos, especially with the amount of ethanol that's now in our fuel, is sometimes the sleds choke a little bit, or like when you're holding it wide open in areas you can, you'll get to a point where they'll like drop power for a second and then come back. So I noticed that a little bit last year on the 25, and I've noticed it a bit on this sled. Fortunately, here in Cochrane, we do have one gas station that has very low ethanol in their premium fuel, so I've been putting that in, and it's been happening much less frequently. So what can I tell you about this sled? As I mentioned earlier, it is identical to last year. It's just a new color package. The question we always get asked is, oh, well, if there's no change, why did you guys upgrade? And the reality is we put too much mileage on that it's not worthwhile to keep the sled for another year, because then we'd have a really hard time selling it. So this sled has, or last year's 25, mine had 5,400 kilometers at the end of the season. So if I kept it for another year, it would be just over 10,000 probably this year, and I actually have more time off, so it would probably be like 13 or 14,000, and good luck selling an 850 turbo with that many kilometers on it. So that's why they had to go. The other big change for me this year, not really a difference with the sled, but I'm down about 95 to 100 pounds from last year. So my preload, or my rear spring setting, is significantly less than it was. Last year I would run it at setting number 5, and currently I'm at setting 1, and my sag is perfect. So always a recommendation that we give when you're getting a brand new sled is make sure you set your rear sag, so you're only sinking down about 2.5 to 3 inches when you sit on your sled from when the suspension is fully out or fully extended. That way you get the proper ride, and you're not like using most of your suspension just sitting on the sled, because that's no good. Take a look here, crossing Highway 11. I also have a new GPS on this sled. So this is the Garmin Tread 2, and I even have the connection on the handlebar here that allows me to zoom in and zoom out, which is kind of cool. So there you go, you can see I'm zooming out here and in. Oh, let's zoom back in. There we are. And it tracks me. The other thing that's nice about the Garmin Tread series is they actually have built-in mapping. So they don't have official trail mapping, so you have to, I would take that with a grain of salt, but it is pretty accurate. Like in Cochrane so far, it's been 95% accurate. There are going to be some sections where they moved the trail this year so they don't reflect it on the map, but Garmin does do updates for it. So I think it's pretty good out of the box, and you don't really need to buy aftermarket mapping solutions for it, which is awesome. Other than that, this sled I'm running the Bergstrom triple point carbides on the front, 6-inch, And those have been my go-to for years. And on this sled, I actually, for the first week up here, breaking trail and dealing with a lot of pavement running, I ran the stock carbides just to wear them out before I switched them. And that's when I remembered just the drastic difference you get with those carbides. So really for us, you get good bite, but at the same time, you don't get super heavy steering because of the design of the triple points and the fact that you're spreading the weight over a wider surface area. So you really get good bite, but light steering, which is really what I find the big advantage of the product. Plus, they have a long lifespan, way longer than any other carbide I've ridden with. I've gotten over 4,000, 5,000 kilometers on a single set of bars, and yeah, were they wore down? Sure, but they were still there. Any other bars would probably be gone, and I would have eaten through my keel of my ski. Just a beautiful section of trail here. We're just hopping in the power line on the A106C. On top of that, same like last year, this sled is outfitted with the Pilot RX ski, which is a deeper keel and a much more aggressive ski. It comes on all the 850s now, I believe, or most of them, but it does not come on the 900s. I know you can put it on the 900s, and I know some guys that have. My understanding of why they don't come on the 900s is just because the RX ski does make the steering a little bit heavier, and with the 900s having heavier steering from the get-go, just because there's more pressure on the front end, or more weight on the front end, that's why they kept the Pilot X ski on that. But the one thing I like about the ski that I find is really awesome is the fact that when you're in looser snow conditions, so right now everything's rock hard, so not a good example, but when you're in like the softer snow, and you come around a corner where most sleds are going to want to slide, or most skis are going to want to slide, these skis bite, and like you actually turn really well in the soft stuff. So that was really impressive for me last year, and it holds true right now. On top of that, I'm studded up, same setup as last year, 96 Stud Boy Super Light Pro Series double backers with the PowerPoint Plus 1.5 studs. So I do go for a little bit bigger stud on these sleds just because of the 850 turbo and the power. And I've had great luck with them. I've never had a stud pull through all of last season, even before that. So yeah, those are great. On top of that, the nice thing about the comp is you do get the 2-ply track, which I prefer. I think 2-ply tracks are better than 1-ply overall. Less chance of a pull through, just a higher quality track. That being said, I have run with single-ply tracks, and I haven't had really any bad luck. I've never blown a track, I've never pulled a stud, even on the single plies. But if I can choose to get a double ply, I'm gonna get a double ply or a 2-ply. I have also been testing out BRP Go on this sled. It's not connected right now. So far so good, it's been working. I only had it one time where I was riding and there was a little bit of moguls on the trail and it was bumpy, and my phone disconnected and reconnected. But other than that, it's been okay. But that's really, it's stuff like that why we keep the Garmin's. One, the other thing with the Garmin's is it's in a better position, like I've mentioned before, so it's like right in front of my vision, versus the gauge, I gotta look down to see it. So that's really why we run both. Mike is running the gauge relocation kit, or the 10.25 touchscreen display relocator on the backcountry, and then he has his Garmin mounted on top of that. I think I might migrate to that setup. Because it just lifts everything up and you can see your gauge a little bit better. But that being said, with the GPS on top and a low windshield, you kind of lose your glove box space. So that's the one thing that's not ideal. But with us, because we have oodles of link bags and storage on the back, I think I could do with giving up my my glove box space. On top of that, the one thing that I mention every year, and it makes me laugh, but it is what it is. There's got to be something. Skidoo's got to give us something to critique, because overall, this sled is the shit. Like, I'm not just saying that. After riding last year's one for all the 5,000 kilometers I did, and this year already almost 1,000, it makes me smile every time. But the one thing that they have not improved on and continues to make me question stuff is the handlebar warmers. So the handlebar and thumb warmers, the settings of them are kind of all over the place. I turn them on and I always end up going from on to off, because I turn them on, they burn my hands off, and then I turn them off, and then my hands freeze, and then I turn them back on. So that's kind of a cycle that goes back and forth. I'm hoping BRP and Ski-Doo comes out with something in the future to answer that. whether that's some sort of smart warmer that's temperature sensitive or is monitoring temperature. That would be cool, and I think that would be a well-deserved change. Other than that, I was playing around earlier with launch control on this sled, and I'll show you guys in a second when I get to a section of trail, like off of the trail, because I don't want to tear up the base, even though I was the one that actually groomed this trail yesterday, but still. Hopping on the Frederick-Hess River here. The other thing I run on all of these sleds that some people laugh at me about, but I personally love it, is the handlebar, the far riser. So this allows you to adjust it forward and backwards, as you can see here. That way, sometimes when I'm riding a little more aggressively, I can push the bar forward. And when I want to lounge, I can just bring it back, and then it hangs out back here. So I do really like that. I'm also running the extension for the forward adjustable riser on there to complement it. And of course I got my Ski-Doo handlebar pad. Rocking my Sled Addicts knee pads. These are in the yellow color. Unfortunately, the yellow from SeaDeck is not a perfect match for the competition yellow on this sled. It is a perfect match for the Renegade yellows. So for the 2026 Renegades, it matches perfectly, but not the 850s and the two-strokes. But that being said, I purposely then got my numbers to be that same yellow and the shim kit, so it's kind of two different yellows on the sled that I think looks actually pretty good. Overall, I do really like the mineral blue. It's kind of like a metallic, it's got a metallic flake to it, so that looks pretty sick. And yeah, guys, that's really my initial thoughts on this sled. The only other thing I was going to mention was the R-Motion rear. So that hasn't changed since last year. It's identical, and it soaks up everything I give it. Right now, I'm like learning a little bit about how the suspension is reacting to me, just because I'm significantly lighter than I was before, so I don't have to run the suspension as stiff, and it's a little more forgiving than it used to be. But I'm still playing with that. Of course, I'll give you guys an update throughout our rides this year and in the end of season review. But overall, loving this sled. It's going to be another beauty, hoping to pile on the miles on it this year. And that's about it. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, enjoyed me rambling a little bit on this sled. I know you guys see a lot of Mike on YouTube and not as much of me with everything that's going on with medical school, but I'm still here. I'm still running stuff on the back end with our website and products, and helping manage social media and all of that, and then also helping manage the Polar Bear Riders page on Facebook. So I'm busy, and that kind of stuff I can do from New York for med school. Obviously the videos is a little bit harder for me, but the exciting part is that this year I'll have a little more time. I'll be off the whole month of February, so we'll be doing a bunch of riding, and most of March as well. So I'm hoping to get a bunch of riding in this year and really log the kilometers on this sled. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure you like and are subscribed to the channel, and we will see you on the next one. Take care, everyone. Okay, launch mode on. Brake. Woohoo! There you have it.